And I'm Teacher Lynn. We welcome you to Mabuhay CamSur, where we feature the finest and the brightest only here in Camarines World. Today we are going to be with the CamSur CI team who will share to us their CI project entitled AralPanDEMIC. Let's all welcome the CamSur SocSci team. Welcome to Mabuhay CamSur. We want to know what project AralPanDEMIC is all about. What caused you to arrive at this project?
As we all know, we had a sudden shift in the teaching and learning process due to COVID-19 pandemic. Through the LDMs under the BELCP, it paved way for the continuity of education amidst the threats and uncertainties brought about by the virus, in which MDL is one of the options wherein SLMs are highly needed. We found out that we do not have self-learning modules for AP and HUMSS in the division of Camarines Sur, so we decided to initiate the crafting of these modules for our learners.
How were you formed as a team? How did you successful? Actually, we are teacher writers from different schools and districts, but this was not a hindrance for us to move as one team with one goal, which is to develop SLM to be used as a fundamental tool of learning in this limited time. We conducted our conferences and mentoring sessions through Google Meet, Facebook group chat, and Zoom applications.
Our suppliers were the CI team and the ETS. The inputs were the belts, OERs, and LRMDS guidelines, and the Dead Regional Memorandum Number 36, Series 2020. The process were module writing and validating. The outcomes were self-learning modules, the RBI scripts, and ABI materials. The customers were the Araling Panlipunan and HUMSS teachers. The process steps were the recruitment of writers, online orientation and coaching of writers, writing of modules, scripts, and crafting of ABI materials, editing, reviewing, and validating of the IMs, and lastly, the submission and uploading to the OLS and LRMDS portal.
Now we are interested in the entire process of Project Aral Pandemic. Sir Don?
These were the processes and phases of Project AralPanDEMIC. The first phase was AralPanDEMICFinal. This is the recruitment of writers, content editors, language editors, and layout editors. Followed by AralPanDEMICFinal, the conduct of virtual orientations, mentoring, coaching, webinars, and training. The third phase was AralPanSunduan, the approval process of the written project proposal for SLMs on Bicol cultural knowledge, skills, and practices. The fourth phase was AralPanSulatan. This is the process of module and script writing. The problem encountered here was there were only two free websites used as writers' references. After this was the AralPanSulian, the fifth phase. This is the conduct of series of editing and validating of modules and scripts. If a module needs minor revisions, the editors themselves will do the revisions. But if it needs major revisions, it will be sent back to the writer. The problem here was that the editing period usually takes 7 to 14 days. The sixth phase was the AralPanDEMICFinal, the submission of modules to the school's division's office and regional office, then uploading to the LRDS portal. The problem encountered was that there were 197 modules having third-party issues. The seventh and last phase was AralPanDEMICFinal. This is the pre-utilization of the IMs through our AralPanDEMICFinal OLS in Facebook and YouTube. The problem encountered was that the internet speed was a maximum of 1.2 Mbps.
What's the status of AP and Youth IMs and the writers before the CI project?
Before Project Aral Pandemic, the division had zero SNM for AP and JUMS, but AP through the 6 minor teacher writers already had 7 travelogues, 43 culture-based books on local stories and history, with 4 strategic intervention materials.
Where do we stand now in terms of SLS and other IMs plus the writers?
SDO CamSur's AP and HUMSS subject areas now have 226 written modules. 115 of them are under the editing process, and 34 modules are under validating. 77 modules were validated already and ready to be utilized by the schools in the division. 12 of these modules were utilized region-wide, and 23 modules were utilized division-wide for the first quarter. There are 19 scripts, in which 1 is for ABBI, 11 for RBI, 1 for synchronous, 6 for asynchronous ODL, with 18 ABI materials. These were already uploaded in our OLS and in the LRM DS portal.
These IMs were developed by 107 teacher writers and 52 validators, composed of 14 content editors, 9 language editors, 8 layout editors, 3 illustrators, and 18 final validators.
Kindly take us step by step on how you came up with this output.
Based on the data analysis in August 2020, the division secondary AP and JUMS writers' level of competence in line with module writing, editing, and validating was only 1.92 or 38.4% as compared to the standard of 5 or 100%.
This seems to be below the standard. What were the reasons for this?
The first were involved in the division IM writing. Lastly, only 1.75 or 35% was their level of competency in line with module validation. This was because only 3 AP teachers were involved in IM writing. This led to the limited number of instructional materials for AP and HUMSS last school year 2019-2020.
Then, the team arrived with the concept of Project AralPanDEMIC, developing and enhancing modules as an innovative contribution. The project aims to enhance the secondary AP and news feature writers' level of competence. This also envisions to make available the SLS, scripts, and ABI materials in AP and views for the utilization of learners and teachers in the SDO CamSur.
We learned that teacher writers need to enhance their competence in writing, editing, layouting, and validating of modules, along with the need to increase the availability of OERs with strict adherence to the Anti-Plagiarism Act. On the other hand, they want an immediate action on editing, layouting, and validating of modules with sustainable professional development efforts among the writers and a face-to-face interactions for clarification on various concerns.
How did you overcome the difficulties you encountered along the way?
With the problems encountered in the AralPanDEMICFinal, AralPanLihan, and AralPanSunduan phases, the solution was AralPan-Usapan, the conduct of one-time face-to-face meeting and a consistent communication with the writers, editors, illustrators, and validators through different online platforms. As a result, there was an increase in the number of writers from 6 last school year to 107 writers this school year. As compared to the target of 101, we have 100% achievement rate. In the AralPan-Sulacan phase, we solved the problem with AralPanDEMICFinal. We provided a list of free OERs that writers can access.
In the AralPanSurian phase, we did AralPanSulitan, the close monitoring among the writers, editors, and validators. Additional editors and validators were also provided. The result was an increase in the number of SLMs, scripts, and ABIs from 0 to 226 written and 77 validated SLMs, 0 scripts to 19 compared to the target of 11, and 0 ABIs to 18 compared to the target of 11. All of these garnered a 100% achievement rate. In the AralPanDEMICFinal phase, we did AralPanDEMICFinal, the conduct of 3-day webinar. With this, there was an increase in the mean competency rating of the division AP and Youth writers from 1.92 or 38.4% to 3.01 or 60.2%. The increase was 21.8%.
For AralPanlipunan, we had the AralPanBahagian as a solution to the problem encountered. This is in coordination with the division IT team wherein they provided a much faster internet connection of 100 Mbps.
Bilang isang mag-aaral na gumagamit ng mga module sa Araling Panlipunan ay simulat ng Division of Araling School. Nakatutulong ang mga module na ito upang mapadali ang aming pagkatuto sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalawak ng aming kaalaman at kamalayan sa ating kapatigiran at lipunan gamit ang mga impormasyong nilalamang ito sa pinakaligtas, mabisa at madaling paraan ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Maraming bahagi sa mga module na ito ang kapaki-pakinabang tulad na lamang ng mga pagsasanay, panimula at panagpos sa pagsubok, tatapot ang mga araling tulad na lamang sa module na ito na tinatalakay ang paghahanda at pagharap sa mga kalamidad, ang aking lugod sa pinangahalagahan at hilig basahin pagkat sa pamamagitan nito, nadaragdagan ang aking kaalaman at kamalayan na makakatulong at magagamit ko sa ngayon hanggang sa inaharap.
Yes, that's very good. Very good.
Project AralPanDEMIC aims to launch books and modules on legal cultural knowledge, skills, and practices, involve students in the development of modules and other items, and engage the teacher writers in conducting researches on innovation and intervention to produce life-ready and job-ready graduates, as well as integrate their modules to be used in face-to-face instruction. There is also a plan to organize a team composed of teachers and students who will engage themselves in the documentation and innovation following the continuous improvement process and organize district PI coordinators. Creation of a website where the modules and ABI materials will be accessed by everyone is also part of the plan. Lastly, the team will venture in partnership with the Panlipunan State University for the professional growth and development of teachers by conducting seminars with software teachers and participants.
With everything that you did for this project, what did you learn and what are your insights?
We, CamSur SocSci team, realized that module writing and utilization is not only essential during pandemic, but an integral part of the curriculum enrichment and localization.